This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Giovanni Diaz. An Osceola County woman convicted of stabbing 2 children could face life in prison. A jury found Doris Espinoza Rodriguez guilty in September. Her sentencing is scheduled for tomorrow. Investigators say she tried to kill 2 children at their father's home in 2023. Espinoza Rodriguez claims she was defending herself and that the father ordered the children to attack her. The 2 kids were treated and are expected to be okay. The FBI is now offering up to $50,000 for any information that could lead to the arrest of the person accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare. ABC's Aaron Katersky reports investigators believe the man has now left New York City.
The hunt for the killer of United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson enters a 5th day.
The net is tightening, and we're going to bring this person to justice.
Overnight, the NYPD releasing these new images of the suspect, showing him getting into a taxi. NYPD dive team searching the boat pond in Central Park, looking for evidence, including the murder weapon and the bicycle the suspect was seen pedaling. The pond is near the spot where investigators recovered what they say they think is the suspect's backpack. They took it directly to the NYPD forensic lab for examination, and sources tell ABC News it contained a jacket and Monopoly money.
It is important to have the backpack because you may be able to pull off some genetic or forensic material, like maybe DNA.
The suspect fled the shooting scene on foot, then is seen entering Central Park on a bike. He exited the park 8 minutes later and was seen here pedaling on West 85th Street near Columbus Avenue. By 7 a.m., police said the suspect had ditched the bike and hailed a taxi. By 7:30, 45 minutes after the shooting, the suspect was gone. Police say they saw him on video near the bus station by the George Washington Bridge, where they believe he boarded a bus and left the city. Investigators are focused on clues that suggest a disgruntled employee or angry client of United Healthcare. The words deny, defend, and depose were written in Sharpie on shell casings found at the scene, echoing this 2010 book about the insurance industry's failure to pay certain claims.
Brian Thompson may not have personally been the target, but he represented the system.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
And investigators still do not have a motive for the crime. Police say nothing so far indicates that the shooting had anything to do with the CEO's personal life. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office says a search warrant led to the arrest of a man on drug charges. Investigators say they found fentanyl and meth in the home of Keith Saar. They say they also found guns and cash. Saar is now facing drug trafficking charges. 50 years of regime in Syria are now over. Syrian state TV reporting that the country's government has been overthrown. And as James Longman reports, even the country's president is now missing.
History made overnight as Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad is overthrown in a lightning move by rebel fighters. They are this morning inside the presidential palace, walking its huge halls, celebrating amid the abandoned luxury of the Assad regime. As outside, jubilation spreads on the streets of the capital. For a moment, few saw coming. Rebels declaring victory from the state TV studios, saying the city of Damascus has been liberated. The tyrant Bashar al-Assad has been toppled. The rebels seizing Damascus almost without a fight, as Assad's military appeared to evaporate. This Syrian military checkpoint left abandoned overnight, military uniforms left behind, scattered on the floor. Such scenes were unthinkable less than 2 weeks ago when the rebels launched a sudden offensive. That snowballed, and day after day, they overrun key cities. Assad, in power for 24 years, oversaw the brutal crushing of the revolution against his regime through nearly 14 years of civil war. He was propped up by allies Iran, Russia and Hezbollah, but he never completely regained the north, and Turkey has quietly supported the mix of Islamist rebel groups vying for power. Out of the carnage, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham emerged, and with Assad's allies distracted by wars in Ukraine, Gaza and Lebanon, the group appears to have taken its chance. An offshoot of al-Qaeda, its leader Abu Mohammed al-Gawlani now wants to project a more moderate image. The group solidifying its status as guardians of the revolution, on Saturday storming the city of Homs, birthplace of Syria's rebellion back in 2011. And they've released prisoners from Syria's infamous jails, where they'd languished for years for opposing the regime. Protesters chanting, "Long live Syria, down with al-Assad," setting fire to a poster of the Syrian president.
That was James Longman reporting. President Biden and U.S. officials say they are acting with caution and they have no plans to intervene. Covering Volusia County right now, a deputy is recovering this afternoon after shooting herself by accident. That's according to the sheriff's office. This happened yesterday afternoon at a Walmart in Deltona. The sheriff's office told us the deputy was shot in the leg and was taken to the hospital for treatment. She is expected to be okay, thankfully, and so far no word on what actually led to that shooting. Right now, the owner of a cabinet shop is picking up the pieces after the store went up in flames yesterday morning. This happened on Aloma Avenue in Winter Park near Cimarron Boulevard. The business owner had been at that location for 30 years.
Shock a little, digesting everything, and at the same time already thinking about what I need to do. Got to get back up, get obligations handled, jobs promised, got to get those out. We deal with so many people, so many people. You know, my reviews show it. It's who we are. This is my world.
Good news here is that no one was hurt. Officials are now looking into what caused the fire. Overnight, SpaceX sent more Starlink satellites into space.
3, 2, 1, ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
The launch went up just after midnight. Shortly after liftoff, the first stage booster supporting this mission landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. SpaceX founder Elon Musk saying Starlink's first direct-to-cell phone satellite constellation is now officially complete. Cassie, we are in for a little bit of a warm-up this afternoon, huh?
Yeah, we are. Temperatures are climbing into the 70s. We already have a few of them outside as we get you across parts of Central Florida, sitting at 72 in Winter Haven, Orlando 72, 70 in Titusville for us here during our lunch hour. And we're going to see these numbers continue to climb as we go through the next few hours. Winds generally on the light to even calm side, and we're going to start to see them shift. You can already see a little of that starting to turn more out of the northeast. They'll eventually kind of swing all the way around, becoming more of a southerly wind as we head into this upcoming week, and that's going to help bring about some pleasant and even warmer temperatures. So outside today, 75 degrees, mostly sunny skies, a northeast wind at around 5 to 8 miles per hour. And you can see as we go hour by hour through the day, holding on to that sunshine through the 4 and 5 o'clock hour with the 70s, and then things start to cool, but we'll have a little bit of extra cloud cover as we head into the evening. Also, we'll see some extra cloud cover into early next week. But how about some 80s? I've got that for a couple of days this week here in Central Florida. I'll take you through our extended forecast coming up in just a bit. Gio.
Cassie, thank you so much. A lot of excitement at UCF this afternoon. Why a new football coach is giving fans so much hope for a better season next year. UCF football fans are excited about the announcement of a new head coach heading back to Central Florida. Scott Frost is no stranger to Orlando. In 2017, the Knights went undefeated thanks to him. Channel 9's Darren Matthews has the story.
Fans are rolling out the red carpet for Frost as he makes a comeback. This return to UCF football now marks the revival of a golden era for the Knights. Scott Frost is the coach who orchestrated UCF's legendary 2017 undefeated season and national championship. This exciting information is already igniting the fan base with hope. We know Frost is known for his high-octane offense and innovative play calling, and his return could promise to rejuvenate the team and rekindle the spirit of domination that made UCF a powerhouse in college football. Frost's return comes after the former coach Gus Malzahn shocked fans with his resignation to become Florida State's offensive coordinator, leaving the position open since November 30th. Now Frost's homecoming isn't just a nod to the past. This could be a bold leap towards the future. His deep connection with the program, combined with lessons learned from his time in Nebraska, sets the stage for a new chapter of success. Fans are already buzzing about one of the most successful coaches in the program's history.
He was in Nebraska, but I know before that he was with UCF, national championship, you know. Scott coming back, man, that's going to be huge. He had a whole mindset with the team he was coaching with UCF, so I think it's going to be a game changer. Might be undefeated again.
Reporting in the studio, Darren Matthews, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And UCF shared this welcome post for Scott Frost on X. We are still waiting to hear an official statement from the university this afternoon. Right now, we are asking investigators for more information on a boat crash in Brevard County. The sheriff's office telling us that 2 boats collided during the Merritt Island Boat Parade last night. Organizers say one boat crashed against another. One person was sent to the hospital, and we are checking in with wildlife agents about what happened, and we'll let you know as soon as we get more information. There will be some big changes for a Central Florida hotel chain coming up. What company officials say will not happen, will not change after the passing of a Central Florida icon. Rosen Hotels and Resorts named a new CEO this week after the passing of founder Harris Rosen. Longtime CFO Frank Santos will be taking over the operation, and the company will not be sold, despite rumors indicating that was a possibility. The 85-year-old philanthropist had a major impact on tourism, but most importantly, the people who worked for him and the underserved communities.
Why did you take on, for example, Tangelo Park, and why did you take on the health care for your employees? Because you didn't have to do any of these things.
You would understand that when I achieved the success that I had, how incredibly grateful I was. I thank God so many times. And all of the things I've done because I wanted to demonstrate my appreciation.
Wise words there. You can see the entire interview with our very own Greg Wormuth right after this newscast at 12:30 right here on Channel 9. Rosen talks about how he started his hotel chain here in Florida and how he took care of his 4,000 employees' health care needs. The city of Winter Springs hosted their 42nd annual Winter Wonderland Parade. There was live music, food, activities for all ages last night. At the end of the parade, there was a tree lighting celebration and even an appearance of Santa himself.
I came out here just to do something different. I left Orlando for some time, for 6 years, and now I'm back. So this is new, I don't know. So I came out here to bring my son and so he can enjoy it and see the lights and the music.
The event is the city's longest running holiday tradition, and I feel like yesterday was a perfect night for something like
night.
that.
Really, the last couple of nights were cold.
Really
we had a fire at our house, I admit it.
I was in Baldwin Park yesterday walking around. There was a parade there. It was incredible.
Right, and there's no shortage of really things to do this time of year. There's a lot of tree lightings and all kinds of things to get out and about. Weather-wise, we're going to see some pretty big changes this week, but we've got it all. We've got some warmth, we've got some rain, and we've got another cool down, of course, in the chute. But we take you outside over Lake Eola. Just a beautiful day. Some high thin clouds for us, but our temperatures not bad. 72 degrees, a lot of upper 60s and low 70s for us. It's 70 over in Titusville, 72 in Winter Haven, 60s. You can see up in the Villages and in Leesburg for us. But these numbers are right at around 5 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday at this time. So we're already starting to get that little notch up on our belt, and we're going to continue to do that. Winds for the most part light, but coming out of the north to north and east. We are going to see a big shift in that. They'll be more in the southerly direction, and that is going to really help blow in some of that warmth for us. So afternoon highs today, low to mid 70s, hitting some of the seasonal levels for most of Central Florida. You can see as we go hour by hour in Orlando, keeping the 70s around all the way through the 4, even 5 o'clock hour before we start to cool off. Notice though, we've got a little bit of extra cloud cover tonight. Partly cloudy conditions. They're going to help keep our temperatures a little bit more mild. Again, not as chilly through the overnight tonight into tomorrow. We're all going to be waking up to 50s, and some of us even lucky enough to wake up to some 60s early tomorrow morning. So not as cold with partly cloudy skies. Clouds will be on the rise for us as we head not just through the overnight, but through the day on Monday and through the day on Tuesday as well. So we're kind of going to get rid of those clear blue conditions and welcome partly to mostly cloudy skies all before our next system arrives, which is going to bring about some big changes leading up to the next system. Winds are going to be turning out of the south and southwest. Remember, I was mentioning how that's going to bring about big changes. It's going to put our temperatures quite warm, but then we have the front itself, which is expected to move through on Wednesday. This will bring us some decent rainfall for parts of Central Florida. A lot of us have not seen a good rain in multiple weeks. I was looking back in Orlando. We've had a couple of days where we've had trace amounts or a couple hundredths of an inch, but we haven't gotten measurable rain since the beginning of November. It was on November 6th. We got about a ½ inch of rainfall, so we could use some of that. Following the system, we're going to have another drop in temperature, so winter conditions are going to move back in, and you can see, looking at the 7-day trend, 80s and then a big dive by the end of the week. And again, Again, these are afternoon temperatures. So look at our 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. Pretty mild tomorrow and Tuesday. We wake to the 50s and 60s with highs in the 80s with a little bit of extra cloud cover. After a wet day, we get cold again. We'll wake to 30s and 40s come Thursday with an afternoon high of 62 in Orlando. Some spots are going to stay in the 50s on Thursday, and it'll be on the colder side Friday morning as well with more 40s, but the afternoons will rebound, and we're back in the 70s, which is something that we'll continue to see as we head into next weekend. Gio.
Thank you, Cassie. Really is a roller coaster there. We've been following the best deals from our local businesses. Here's today's Steals and Deals.
Anybody that knows me knows that I have a lot of little furry guys at my house, and I'm forever chasing dust bunnies. So I don't want to lug out the big vacuum cleaner for that. I rely on my new best friend, the Zippy Sweeper Pro. This is a motorized sweeper that can go under low-profile furniture. With its tri-brush, tri-corner design, it can also get into those hard-to-reach spaces. And with the bumpers on each corner, it's never going to mark up your baseboard. So if you need a lot of power for even those little spills and you don't want to lug out the big vacuum cleaner with all those parts, and by the way, they're heavy, this guy weighs less than 3 pounds. It just stands in a corner of my kitchen at the ready whenever I need it. So if you want a great sweeper that's not a vacuum and much easier to use, by the way, it's very easy to assemble as well. When you get it out of the box, you just pop the pieces of the handle together. It's rechargeable over and over again, and it gives you a lot of power. And right now, we're offering 46% off at localsteals.com. That's going to save you about $60 on the Zippy Sweeper Pro.
This time of the year, there are lots of holiday parades and celebrations you might want to attend. But coming up, we'll tell you about one that's very unique. Find out why. All right, listen to this. If you're looking for a holiday event with a different feel, the annual Krampus Fest might just be the perfect place for you today. The event is held at in the Milk District at the Plaza Live parking lot right here in Orlando. It is inspired by Alpine traditions and the appearance of Krampus, the Yuletide ghost. The festival includes live music, food, craft beer, and a parade. It runs from 2 to 9 p.m. today on Bumby Avenue. And Cassie, I feel like by then the temperatures will be a little bit milder, right?
Right. Yeah, you know, especially as you get towards the end of that event when we're in the nightfall time for that ghoul to show up, I guess. That's an interesting one, I'm telling you. But we get you through the overnight. Things aren't going to be too chilly, down to about 57 degrees. 80 degrees come tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Then we get even warmer on Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a high of 82. Wednesday, we've got another winter front. This will bring us some decent rainfall, so expect some soggier conditions on Wednesday, but following it, another dip in temperatures. It's going to be breezy, sunny, and much cooler by Thursday. A lot of us are going to wake to upper 30s and low 40s with afternoon temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and we'll have a slow, gradual rebound as we get towards the end of the week and next weekend back into the 70s Friday, and we'll continue those 70s as we head into Saturday as well. Gio.
Thank you, Cassie, and thank you for watching Eyewitness News at noon. Coming up next, watch a new edition of Central Florida Spotlight with Greg Wormworth. And for updates between newscasts, check out WFTV.com. Have a great day.